The same neurons in our brain. It's the same as the runner's high. Your body produces endorphins. You feel high. It touches the same places that heroin touches.
Yeah.
So,
so let's talk about a little bit of your hemp oil, because you said it's a little bit different from the original, from the Rick Simpson hemp oil. So
this is an example of what I'm speaking of, and I use this stuff myself on a regular basis. I don't have cancer. I'm not trying to heal myself of any serious disease. I'm 61 years old. I've been broken and bent a few times. I've got kind of the normal aches and pains that come with old age. This is about the only medicine I take other than a little bit of an antacid thing for my stomach.
But I've seen on the documentary of Rick Simpson that the oil has a standard procedure to do it. The oil which become a kind of black, like petrol. But this one is a little bit different. There are any difference with the original, or is?
We use a different solvent and a different process. Right? We use butane to extract with so that it works cold, and we flush all of the butane out with boiling water at the end, just like Rick does.
Okay.
Rick uses a liquid petrochemical solvent.
Yeah, the naphtha.
Naphtha is used primarily for larger batches. I think Rick actually recommends that you use alcohol if it's available to you. Okay? The biggest differences are in the choice of what people use have to do with their own personal situation, what they're doing. There are several different excellent ways to use petrochemical solvents to extract cannabinoids. All of them are dangerous.
But we can say Rick knows about it, this one, and
Rick and I have discussed this from the very beginning. Before Rick referred the first patient to me, he basically knew that I did something a little bit different and that I was willing to, work with him. We do this for several different reasons. We believe that with the products that we have to work with, that we get a more purified product.
Okay, so we can say this one is purer than that.
Well, I would say we believe, because the biggest problem that we really face, and I don't know where this is going to be distributed, but wherever and whoever looks at this, if you have the ability to provide me with a laboratory service that can do quantitative and qualitative analysis of this product, it would be highly appreciated. The reality is that we don't know.
Okay, yeah. Officially,
we don't know what the difference is between the more liquid and the more solid.
Yeah.
But we know that both of them are extremely high in their concentration of cannabinoids. The crude testing that we have done with this indicates that it's above 80% and probably above 90% in THC. The remaining part of it, vegetable fats, vegetable waxes, it's been subjected to a boiling water bath, and what's here is more like a soft wax. So there's a very narrow line between oils, fats, waxes, resins. All of these are names for similar organic compounds.
And if we have a patient, and on a blood analysis, it goes through the result, THC, because we cannot say to the doctors that we are assuming this medicine because it's legal.
Absolutely. And
how,
for a long, long time.
How we can deal with the doctors then?
My personal suggestion about how to deal with the doctors is to present them with the documentation of the research, present them with the documentation of the program that Rick Simpson has. Many of my patients' doctors are very much aware. There are Italian doctors who are very much aware that their patients are using cannabis to help with their cancer treatment. Doctors have allowed patients the leeway of using cannabis to help with the side effects of chemo and radiation for a long, long time. It's probably the most common use of cannabis in regular medicine. Cancer doctors recognize it more than any other doctor. So my suggestion would be to get the doctor's cooperation. If it's not possible to do that, it's also impossible to screen this amount of THC in someone's blood. You want to cure cancer, you want to build an extremely high THC level in their blood.
Do you suggest to take this medicine while chemotherapy or other cancer cure?
My suggestion is that this medicine should be taken in addition to or instead of. That is a person's choice. I can't make those choices for them.
Okay.
But I do know that some patients choose to do both. I know that some patients choose not to do chemo or radiation.
I asked by email to Rick this question. He said he doesn't want to add this cure with chemotherapy or this destroying.
Chemotherapy is very destructive
Cure
to your body. It's very hard, right? But in some cases, it does work. You can't deny that.
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor. Okay? If I were a doctor, I would have to be extremely careful about the things I say. Not being a doctor, I have to be equally as careful, or perhaps more so. Patients can make educated choices for themselves based on the information that's available. With the internet and all of the information regarding THC and cancer, I certainly would not suggest to any patient that they stop chemotherapy.
Yeah.
I would not suggest to any patient that they not begin chemotherapy unless they chose to do that themselves based on the information that they have received and what they believe. Yeah. I don't think that it's possible for the addition of this medicine to any other conventional therapy to cause any harm to the patient. And I know that conventional therapy, radiation and chemotherapy, can cause harm to the patient, will definitely cause harm to the patient.
Okay. And so, one more time, let's say all the cycle of this cure, of this medicine. As on Rick Simpson documentary, there is all the procedure. We can say one more time, 1 gram per day,